I go with, and this is what I always come back to, but you'll have a monthly planner, right? Just like this. And I'm writing down everything in here along with on the daily, okay? And I follow the daily. Now, this may seem very simple, and I'm going to explain how to do this very simply. But one other little tip and trick in general is if you're a visual person, I highly recommend getting a place in your house that you can put up a calendar, that you can put up a bulletin board. I'm going to lift, I purposely did this call on my laptop so I could kind of like swing this around and show you my office. But I just kind of want to do this really quickly to show you. We're going to go this way. I have 2 cork boards that have different things on them. I have, can you see that over there? That's my calendar on the wall. Ready? I'm going to go the other way. Hang on, we're spinning. 2 easel boards. Top one is my business. Bottom one is 2 of my coaches that are almost at diamond that I'm in their business. I'm a visual girl. I need it in front of me, okay? So these are just little tips and tricks. If you can do that to put things in front of you, it's going to help you. So let's talk about how you get organized. The first thing is I'm a rogue coach, okay? I don't follow the business activity tracker that we try to give you. I create my own. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to live inside a box that someone tells me I have to do 3 invites, I have to do 3 follow-ups, I have to, whatever it says on that sheet, right? I've been doing this long enough, and I've had enough coaches around me doing this long enough that you kind of get the gist of what's going to work and what are all the things you need to do to move your business forward. So, and I will share what I have with Paige, and she can share it with you. I create, and I do this with every one of my coaches, we individualize them and we make them their own activity business tracker. Okay, and this is what mine looks like. My business activity tracker has activities on it, and they are by the day. Some of my coaches are by the hour and the day because they work. I don't work full-time anymore. I do this full-time. So I know the activities per day. Some coaches need to know, okay, like I have a lot of coaches that are teachers. So we'll sit down and say, okay, what time do you wake up and how much time do you have and what's your commute like? How much time you got in there? And then when do you have like planning sessions and do you have like actual time for you and lunches and how long is your drive home? And oh, you have a family? Okay, so what time do kids go to bed? And we figure out where their pockets of time are and on the schedule for them. So that way they can fit it in and they don't feel like they're wasting time and they're doing all of the things, right? So I am assuming because you guys are younger, you guys are, that you guys are more on Instagram than Facebook. Is that accurate or are we both? Are we kind of both? So I could like talk a little bit about some of the Facebook stuff on top of it. Do you want that too? Okay. So my team is half and half. Now I am a Facebook girl. I built my business to where I am on Facebook, but I am dabbing in social media or in Instagram. I'm really good at the branding and the stories. It's the whole time frame to go follow and unfollow and all that makes me want to bust my head through a wall. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I split my day up with both Facebook and Instagram. Some of my coaches are just Instagram, some are just Facebook, and it just depends. But what I do every day on my tracker here is I put down all the things I want to be doing. All right, and some of this can go for fill in both. But just to kind of go down this, and I will provide this to Paige. Every day, whether I have a workout or not, on here I've got my workout, my shake, just like you see on the activity tracker. Then the next thing is how many times a day are you going to post? All right, so for me, Instagram is 1 post a day, okay? Facebook is different. Facebook is for me 3 posts a day. So it just depends. So you pick the number of posts you're going to do, and that's going to be important for the end here when I tell you really how to get organized with your posting, because that's like the biggest, this is like the key to your business, really. Another thing, so like I have 3 posts, so I have 3 boxes for posts each day. And then once a week, I message my challengers. I don't know if you guys do that. I check in with my challengers one-on-one every single week. I do it on Mondays. So I have a box for that. On Facebook, this is a Facebook thing. If you've been a coach long enough, you will have something called memories. If you go back to your memories, you're going to have posts from today, this day, a year ago, 2 years ago, and so on and so forth. If you hit your memories, you are going to have old content there. So I use that for a couple things. One, if it's good, I reuse it, because if somebody remembers what I wrote a year ago, that's like awesome, okay? Because that's not happening. I can't remember what I ate for breakfast half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way someone's going to remember what you posted a year ago. Another reason I do that on my memories is because Facebook, when you like start liking people's stuff and commenting and they see your friends, they're going to show up, your stuff's going to show up in their feed more. So when I go through my memories, I go through everybody who's liked and commented on my old stuff. I go to their page, I like on some stuff, and I comment. And then guess what? I use stories for both Instagram and Facebook. Then I see those people start popping up watching my stories. So it's like, it kind of like fuels and you know, turns the wheels of people in your friends list, because if I have almost 5,000 friends, 5,000 friends aren't watching my stuff. You know what I mean? So when I look at my memories and it brings me back to people, then they come through and then they start watching my stuff again. Checking in with the challenge group is a must every single day. If you're not doing that, rooting out your challengers, you need to be doing that because that is your potential future coaches. Okay. Let's see. Messaging your story followers. I don't know if you guys do this. This is Instagram and Facebook. Every single person that watches my stories, I send them a message as long as I catch it. Because, you know, it's 24 hours. So once in a while life happens and it's gone. But I try my best to every day, every person who watches it, I send them a message, and it is as simple as this. Hey, so-and-so, thank you so much for watching my stories. Curiously, are you on a health and fitness journey or looking to start one? That's it. And if they're watching me, I don't care if they're looking at a story of my dog or, you know, like a tree falling down in my backyard or whatever, they know I'm health and fitness. So that's not weird. That's not weird for me to ask that. And I'm direct and to the point. Let's see, adding friends, obviously, right? Got to do that every single day on both platforms. And just simple things that aren't so much social media goes on here, meal planning, meal prepping, going live, Facebook and Instagram. You know, that is like the biggest tool we have, and I suck at it. And I am, in case you can't tell, I'm a talker. So like, Paige, you're on your Instagram talking all the time. And I'm like, why don't I just do that? Like, why don't I just, I don't know what my deal is. I just don't do it. I need to do it. Like, I seriously need to do it. But that is like gold, okay? Because then they know you're a real person and they get to know your personality. It's like huge. And then, you know, following up with people that like your posts. This is on both social media platforms, and this is huge. My business runs off my content. Okay. Every single person who likes or comments on anything I post is getting a message from me. That is how I don't feel like I ever invite coldly, because you're giving me an open invite to reach out to you if you're liking my stuff, watching my stuff, or commenting. So if I'm not putting good content out there, I'm not going to get any interaction, right? Hello, words. I'm not going to get any interaction, and then I'm not going to be able to keep inviting people. So that is huge. All right. So one of my biggest tips for organization is having a posting plan. All right. This is what I do. And I have a training on it that I could send you. It's a YouTube training, and it gives you all the different types of post material that you could use. So what I do is I teach my coaches to come up with, first and foremost, how many times you're going to post on social media, okay, a day. And for me, I start with the Facebook is 3, and then Instagram is 1. But on Instagram, it's different for me. And I don't know how you guys do it, but I do like a quote and then a picture and a quote and picture. And like, that's how my feed is. So not every day am I pulling something from my content from Facebook, because I'm just making up a quote that I create and I put out there. But I have a plan, 5 or 7 days a week, 3 posts a day. And I do it the same way. And I reevaluate it every quarter. So this is what I do. I come up with what posts I want, and I create them a week in advance. My shit is done, okay? I have my posts, and this is what I do. I create a Facebook group that I call my blank group. I'm the only one in it. Well, my husband's in it because you have to have a person in there to have a group. And I use the units, and it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then under each unit, under each post that says Monday and Tuesday, in the comments, I put my content, my posts for that day. And then, don't laugh at me, but life is busy for me. I have alarms on my phone every day that go off to remind me to do my posts, so I don't miss them. So, and I play with the time. So like yesterday it was like 8:15 in the morning. I might switch it to like 8:45 or 8:42 or whatever. And I just kind of, but I create my posts in advance. I don't go to bed on Sunday night until my entire week's posts are done. Okay. And just to kind of give you an idea of what my post looks like, I am huge on wanting to recruit, right? Like, I want to build my business. So I do coaching posts every single day, Sunday through Thursday. Every single day I do a coaching post. Friday and Saturday, I consider fluff. So I don't do anything super serious because it's the weekend, right? I'm not going to get as much traction and I don't want to be so serious. So I don't do coaching posts on the weekend. I try to you do a mix, right, guys, of like what you're about and who you're about and all this. I try to do 2 direct invites a week. I can send you a picture of what mine looks like. I mean, if you want, I'll just read them off for you. But the point is you come up with a plan and you commit to that plan for 3 months and you stick to it regardless. Because in case you're at a point in your business where you're not moving, let me tell you that if you do all the things every single day, it's like the snowball effect, okay? It's like kind of moving a boulder up a hill, okay? You're pushing it and it's hard as hell. If you loosen your grip here and you kind of get lazy, it's going to be harder. Once you get it to the top, it's going to roll over and you're going to fly. That's what doing all the things means. You do all the things even if you're not seeing results today. And being organized and having all of this done for the week lets me concentrate on my inviting and my follow-ups and my coaches. Because if you're growing a team, a big part is feeding into your coaches too and teaching them to duplicate what you're doing. So another quick tip is who likes to take pictures of themselves? You should. If you don't, you're like in the wrong business. There you go. All right, so you should make a date with yourself at least once every 2 weeks. No shit, no excuses. Pick a day, and if you're having an off day, then switch your day because you have to feel good to do this. Okay, pick out 5 to 7 outfits and run around your house taking a zillion pictures. Okay, and when you do that, like I will start out with my hair after the shower where it's curly. I'll braid it, then it'll be wavy. Then I'll get the straightener out. Then I'm straightening it, and this is like a 2.5-hour project. But when I'm done, I've got 150 pictures, okay, that I can weed through, and I'm good. So then I have an album that'll say January, example, pretend we're in January selfies, right? And I do it twice. So then when I do the next one in January, it's January 2. And if I really love some pictures, I won't get rid of them. But if I use a picture and it's not like my favorite thing, but I do love it, I'll delete it because I don't want to keep using the same. But you know how you have your favorite pictures, right? Like don't delete those. Use those again. But this is like huge because as I'm making my content for the week, a lot of it is not, I don't have the pictures for it. I'm coming up with coaching posts. I'm coming up with family posts. I'm coming up with direct invite posts. So workout clothes, dresses, lazy clothes, pajamas, silly stuff, whatever. Paige, thank you so much for the idea of dressing like a goofball because that was so much fun. I made everybody do that. It was great. But the point is take that time because then when you craft your post and you get all of your stuff together for the week, if you can do this, all right, which you schedule in your time, guys. So I'm a little bit on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, no matter what, I don't go to bed till it's done. Then I'm able to just pull the pictures out and put it all together. So love yourself and take a shit ton of pictures. And I don't care I don't care who's making fun of you. Like, do it. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah. So that's me just like kind of rambling on some of that. So I'm going to kind of open it up if you, that's awesome. So if you guys want to kind of ask me questions about some of the stuff that I talked about or anything else specifically that I might not be thinking to say, but I seriously, like everything is like an organization, like to the T. Like I'm crazy.
I don't have a question necessarily, but I love the idea of the date day with yourself to take pictures because so many times that's like what takes forever in the moment. It's like, okay, I have to take a picture and then I have to put a post with it. Like that would save so many of us so much time if we could have one day to take them and then use that as content to post. Like that's a genius idea.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a really good idea. And to change your outfit too. Like change it. Change your hair, change your clothes, change your location, get in the car and drive to the park.
Yes, I love that too because so many times a lot of my best pictures are at events with these people and then I'm in the same clothes the whole time, which is fine. I use them anyway, but that's exactly a problem we have as coaches. Like, oh, I've posted a picture in that outfit at least 15 times, So I love them here in the clothes too.
Yes. Everybody better do that. Come on, I don't bite. Talk to me.
So you said when people watch your videos, you'll message them. What if you have someone who's watching your videos, also liking your posts? Do you message them for both? And then what if they're constantly doing it? Do you continue to just keep messaging them over and over again?
Okay. So example, the first time they are liking something, I'm sending the post to them, or I'm sending a message to them. If they don't answer me, and it's, like within reason, next day they're liking something else, the next day, I wouldn't do it right away, but I would say a week is a good time. So like, let's say I thank someone for liking something, watching my stories or watching my video or liking a post or commenting, whatever. I thank them and they ignore me. Next week, if they do it, I'm going to send them another message and I'm just going to say, hey, thanks again for the love on my post, or, for watching my stories. I know I asked you this before and I didn't hear back from you, so I just want to check back in. I'm really curious. Are you on a health and fitness journey too? I kind of word it like that. Then if I'm still getting ignored, I give it about a month. If you're still liking my stuff, sure as shit, I'm reaching out again. Like, until you tell me, leave me alone, I'm going to, because I'm starting it off with a thank you. I've been told once, like, you don't have to thank me every time. And I'd be like, okay, girl, I just want you to feel the love back. Like, whatever, fine, then I'm not going to do that again. But eventually they answer you. Eventually. I've had people that I've messaged 10 times over the course of a year. And finally it's like, yes, I want to start a journey or something. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is there a limit that you've seen when you reach out? I just know on Instagram, I have like 2 people. I've probably reached out like 6 times because they continue to watch and like my stuff.
Yeah.
Why? I almost want to just be like, why do you follow me?
Yeah.
So,
you know what? And unless they then they're going to have to stop. They're going to have to stop for you to stop, right? You're not doing anything wrong. Another thing is also sometimes what I'll do in between that time is if I see that I've messaged them again, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and they're constantly a person who likes my stuff, instead of messaging them, I'll go to their page and I'll go find like 4 things and I'll like it. And then I'll comment on 1 or 2 just to show the love back. And then, it's just I see you. Hey, I see you. And I'm going to love you, so.
I like to say, I've seen you watching, so I really think you're interested. What's holding you back? And that
Very
is
good.
the response.
Very good. Yeah, I've noticed from my coaches a lot lately that one of the things that holds them up, and I don't know if this helps anybody, but I've been trying to get into their conversations because some coaches are not getting very far and they're having a lot of conversations they're saying, but nothing's happening. So I'm like, show me some of your conversations. And they'll get as far as tell me about your goals, and they'll tell them about their goals. And, are you doing anything to work towards those goals? And as soon as someone says, yes, I'm going to Orange Theory, or yes, I go to the gym, they freeze. And they're kind of like, oh, I don't know what to tell them because they already have something. And the way I look at that is, well, that's awesome that you've got something going on. How long have you been doing that? And are you seeing the results that you want to see? And then I still throw this at them. I'm like, so, hey, curiously, would you ever consider following a workout program from home, one that takes all the guesswork out and a structure to get you those results, fill in the blank, to lose that 20 pounds you're looking for? And, when they're like, oh, I wouldn't do it at home. Well, you can actually take them. They're mobile. You can take them to the park. You can take them on vacation. The point is that you're taking the guesswork out. And we're guaranteeing you results. Would you try something like that if you were guaranteed results? So I just keep kind of going until someone basically tells me no, to an extent. You know what I mean? It's not like push, 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 but it's like, do you understand what I'm trying to ask you? Would you ever do this? Is this something you would like? So I noticed that a lot lately, that people are getting, they hear, yes, a gym, yes, I run, I this, I that. That doesn't mean that you can't help them, because you can supplement this in too, on top of it. Plus the nutrition is the whole thing too, right? But I think some people are so afraid when they hear they're doing something else, which that's great. I compliment them. Good for you. How's that working?
I have a question.
It's not working. No offense, it's not. I didn't know what I was doing.
So can you talk to us a little bit about how you plan your posts? Like when you sit down on the day that you're making your plan, what's going through your head? What's your process? How do you balance the coach posts versus the just everyday life posts versus health and fitness?
Yes, good question. Thanks. Okay, so I also have units in that blank group that will say coaching, direct invite, transformation, whatever. Because as your week goes on and stuff like that, if one of my coaches post a transformation and I want to share it later, I save it and I put it in there. Okay. You could save it too on like Facebook or on Instagram, but I save it all into there. I'll save it to my phone, save it in there. So it's in there because I may not use it for 3 weeks or a month or 2 months. Right. So I do have some things collected. So that makes it easy at times, especially if you have like a really busy weekend and you don't have time to come up with everything. You have stuff saved in there. Plus too, there's certain things that I will reuse. I will reuse it 2 or 3 times. If I have a really great direct invite post, maybe that's coming out once a month, right? Depending what it is. But so my coaching post, I do something called a brain dump. I sit down and I have a notebook. And do you remember when you were in school and it's kind of like put a topic in a circle and you do webs, right? So when I say coaching post, I'm not saying do a post and say, hey, I'm looking for 10 girls. Although you can do stuff like that, right? Like that's okay to do, and join me. But I say coaching posts are anything to do with the community, financial, anything. So I can sit there and say, okay, today I'm going to do a brain dump on everything to do with community in this business. Okay. So every person that I've met, how have they made an impact in my life? And I will just brain dump on that. Right. Then another day I may sit down. And this is what I do in my spare time. So then I'm pulling this out at the time. Cause I'm a very like pick and that's it. That's what you're doing. I kind of like pick, but financially, like I try to remember where I came from in this business because where I'm at now is way different than when I first came in, right? When I first came in, I was super excited when I was able to pay off my shake. Like that was huge. Like that's all I thought about in the beginning. Like if I can get that shake for free, holy crap, this is awesome, right? And when you were able to do that, it was like, oh, and then after that, it was like, oh my gosh, we made enough money that we can go to the movies this weekend, right? Or that's going to pay for the gas in my car because I felt like I was always feeding my gas tank driving into the city when I worked. But you know what I mean? So I try to remember those things. And then too, one of my favorite things is I use my objections that I'm getting. I use personal objections. So if somebody tells me that example, you know what, like a story about my husband doesn't let me do anything, you better believe I'm going to have a lot of posts about that husband who doesn't let their wife do this. And, so I remember these things and I dump that shit down too, because I like to try my best to put the content into my posts on my objections, because if people are reading that, you're hopefully going to have less of that in your messages and your objections. So I'll call out that person that doesn't want to spend $160, but will go to the bar and drink that shit away all weekend. Okay. Or that is going to go get their nails done and their hair done and spend double that at the salon this weekend. I will call them out, So, I brain dump a lot and then I just kind of pick what I'm going to do. Okay. So finances is a big one. Time, and then I didn't have this, but a lot of my coaches do. When you have a young kid, I remember this. When you have a young kid, it's really hard to go out with them. It is a pain in the ass to get them together because let me tell you, when you want to take a toddler out, it's like a 20-minute process to try to get them to put their own shoe on or let you do it and you're arguing, right? Like it is a process for everything. And guess what? You get frustrated and you're done. You're done. I mean, that has happened all the time to all these parents. This is normal. I don't know if anybody has kids or you know what I'm talking about, but God, this is like for any mom out there, like this is the solution to beat the excuses, no joke. But I try to touch on all these different things. Direct invites, when I'm sitting down and I want to invite somebody, I just think about if you were sitting in front of me, what would I say? And I try to spin things, right? I try to think about those excuses, those objections, and what you're going to get out of it and how it's going to be better for you. So you're trying to, off the top of my head, you're trying to, how many people tell you that they're trying to lose weight before a vacation? That just kills me. It's like, I've got 6 weeks. Let me just rub some magic dust together and get you there, poof. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Kills me every time. Oh no, my favorite, I got to tell you this. Some mom just reached out to me and she wants me to help her daughter fit in her prom dress by next month. I'm like, can we talk about her nutrition? Are you worried about after the prom dress? Like I was kind of pissed as a mom. Like, this is stupid. Like what are you teaching your kid? Sorry, side vent there. Like, that's just awful. But the point is that I have my list. This is my list. And it tells me what they are every single day. So when I sit down to do it, I first look at what kind of content I have. I decide on what I want to do, not to mention what's coming up, right? An accountability group. My direct invites are so easy. 2 weeks before, the week before my accountability group, because I'm talking about that. The other 2 weeks is a little more tricky with direct invites because I just basically have to say, join me. Just join me. Join me in feeling better. Join me in, and it's always been easier when I'm saying like, hey, here comes our, summer sweat down or whatever you're calling it, and like join us. I do 2 quotes a month or a week. I don't know what days they are. One's like an encouraging and one's like a motivating. I stockpile those. So I'll just sit there and I will go look for like 20 quotes and I will save them. And then just whatever I'm feeling when I'm putting together my plan is what I will do. What else? Personal development, I try to share that once a week. So that's just whenever it comes across time. I can share something from 6 months ago. What I read today. So Shakeology, anytime I'm having fun, I like to switch the cups up. I love to put sprinkles on top, put different straws in there, put them in different mugs or wine glasses. That's always fun. And just have fun with it so you can share that. I only share Shakeology maybe twice a month, but I have a lot of stockpiled photos. That's the other thing. If you do that and you spend a whole day where it's like everybody's having a shake, let's get all of our shit dirty and have fun doing dishes all day. But go buy some cool straws and cups. Go to the dollar store. They've got like your pineapple cups. I mean, come on, like you could like have a lot of fun with that. It's kind of like a photo shoot for your shake, right? What else? The one thing I do struggle with, I'm not going to lie to you, workout posts are really easy. I have that content going. I share it 3 times a week on social media. I used to share it every single time I worked out. Now I do in my stories, but I don't on my feed in either one. I think maybe once every 2 weeks, I might share a workout post on Instagram, and then 3 times a week I do on Facebook. And it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And it's just, I want them to know I'm showing up still every day because I'm not like a person who has to lose a lot of weight. So I could probably like say like, yeah, I'm doing it and not do it really honestly, but I want them to see I'm doing it. I want them to know I'm going to be in the trenches with them and that I'm worried about my health too, right? So those are easy. But the one thing I feel like I don't know why I struggle more with, and this is something that Paige is not a struggler with, and that's my story. That's my story. I can share bits and pieces of my story, but I do struggle with that because I have a lot of baggage that I can't share with my teenage daughter. That will ruin our relationship for life if I do, but it would be the thing that would probably get me the most attention, but I have to weigh my relationship with her over that. So I think that's my personal struggle that I'm working through to try to figure out how I could tastefully maybe share little bits of that. So that's my struggle. So you don't ever really see that because I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But everything else is a cakewalk. I feel like after you start getting in a groove, the bottom line is you got to make a plan. Once you have it on paper and you know what you're going to do, it's going to be really easy to kind of put it together because you've made a decision, right? Just like you're going to do this journey, you're going to work out, you're going to try to eat clean, you're going to make a meal plan, you're going to meal prep. When you make that decision, it starts to fall in place, right? This is the same concept with a posting plan. Figure out what you want to do, commit to it, and then start piecing it together, right? And then, like for me, and I'm just going to kind of read this off so you understand. So on Sundays, I do a coaching post, I do a direct invite post, and I do either a meal prep post or something to do with a recipe, okay? Mondays, I do a coaching post, my workout post, and I usually do my motivating quote. Tuesday, I do a coaching post, I do a transformation Tuesday, and you guys, they must think like I have a million friends in the world and I know everybody because I will go on Beachbody or on Google and I will find a Beachbody transformation, I will share it. And you would think that person's my best friend because I am calling them by their name. And I'm like, oh my God, look at Jamie. Jamie is such a kick-ass mom. Do you know how hard she had to work to do this? Like they think I'm best friends with Jamie. They you can word it that way and take credit for Beachbody's results because you are representing Beachbody, right? So just because you don't personally know her, they don't know that. They don't know that. So from the beginning, I have always done that. So transformations, obviously yourself, at least once a month, I'm doing something about my own transformation, which doesn't have to always be physical. For me, it's a lot of health stuff. I'm an ex-smoker. That's a big thing I like to talk about. And I do something positive. This is the me story, right? So I try to talk about something positive in my life. Wednesday, I do coaching post, workout, and I do a family post. So that could be about my kids, one of my kids, or kids, my husband, my relationship, my parents, my dogs. That's always fun. Who doesn't like to hear about puppies? By the way, side note, they're called walruses. How awesome is that? You guys got to check out my page. Like, they are half Shar-Pei, half walrus, cutest dogs in the world. Designer breeds, come with a nice price tag, by the way. Side note. Let's see. Thursday is coaching and direct invite. Thursday is also something that gets interaction. Okay. Now, that could be something that's funny. I think of funny quotes and stuff like that as something that's going to get a lot of interaction, but this could be like a question where you're having people answer, right? People love to tell you, like, they love to give you advice. So ask questions. They love it, right? Like, I get this thing on my foot. What should I do? Everybody's a doctor. Everybody's a freaking doctor. They can tell you exactly what you should do. It's great. You know what I mean? Like, people want to give you advice. And if they're following you, they appreciate, you know, you like interacting with them and listening to what they have to say. So remember that. It's a good one. Friday, workout. And this is where I do my Shakeology post twice a month. And the other ones are food posts. Another positive about me on Saturday is the famous something about my story. This probably takes the longest time for me. This one post probably takes the entire time up, honest to God. The rest of it is cake. Personal development, and then an encouraging quote. So all of that is my Facebook content. And then what I do is I pull something from that week every other day to put on Instagram. And then every other day is a quote, and I create it myself. And it's usually like a gratification quote, a motivation quote, a fitness, whatever. So that's kind of what I do. And I just do it every week regardless. There's no talking about it. Like, I will not go to bed. Like, that is my rule. It's kind of like if you don't eat your dinner, you go to bed hungry, right? Like, this is my rule for me, for my business. And this is what keeps me on track and organized. This is the biggest part, that if you are not consistent and you don't put that content out there, it's the difference between your business succeeding and failing, honest to God. So that's where the biggest piece of organization is. Make a plan, stick to it, decide this is it, no questions asked.
I love that, because you're always ensuring that you are hitting the things you want to hit each week and the big variety of things to post about.
Exactly. And I have and I'll be glad to share it with you, from like a year ago. I have a YouTube training that I did on just a posting plan, and I like gave examples of all different kinds of posts you could do. But in the training video, I will tell you that back then I was like, post 5 to 6 times a day. Ignore that part. Do not post 5 or 6 times a day. It worked then. And I'm never going to tell someone don't do this, but I would just recommend probably not doing that. You can do what you want, but just know that I'm saying, like, I don't do that now. That was back then. So, but it's a great training because it gives you different ideas of different types of posts and things like that. So I'd be happy to share that.
Someone is requesting you also share just the visual of your schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have show of hands, who works full time? Most. Half? Okay, yeah. So I will also send you screenshots of I'll just pick 2 of my girls that I break it up by hourly, like, you know, their day. One of them, it's actually funny. She's a stay-at-home mom, and her husband like comes home at certain times, different days. So it actually is like before Andy, after Andy time. So I'll send that one so you can kind of see. So like what a stay-at-home mom would kind of do based on things, then somebody who works, and then like mine is just, you know, for me, I can do my business anytime, but I have my house to myself from usually 8 to 3 when my son is in school, and my husband, except for 1 day a week when he's home. So I have 4 days a week that I can get my stuff done anytime. But I love to set timers. So I will tell you, from a person who worked full time to this, if you don't set timers and be intentional, you're screwed. Something that could take me an hour on a timer, I could make it last all day if I'm not intentional. So you want to be intentional with your time.
I'm just curious, as a full-time coach, how many hours do you work a day?
On my own business, probably 2. I probably work 2. That is not including calls. Okay, because I do calls every night. I do calls like this. I'll do a call I do 1 team call a week. Right now, since we came back from leadership, we actually are doing a leadership mastermind, which was really cool. So 5 of us leaders got together with all of our emeralds and above who wanted to push. So we each have a live every day that we have to do in there. So we're kind of feeding into them. So that's counting that. But 2 hours, I would say, to do my activities and my follow-ups. And I also, so like, you know, the business activity tracker wants you to follow up every day. The way I do my business is 3 days a week. I reach out to people who like and comment my posts. So I'm not doing that every day. 2 days a week, I'm doing follow-ups. That's it. Like, that's the way I do it. I don't follow up every day, every other day. Like, I talk to a person, I follow up 2 days later. I follow up on Wednesdays and Sundays. So if I follow up with somebody on Wednesday and they don't respond, I'm not going to see that till Sunday when I follow up again. And it works because of the amount of conversations I have. I don't feel like I'm drained, but I do have a hot list. It's as simple as a Post-it note, seriously, that I put right on the top. And anybody who is right there, who I've sent the information to, and I have a gut feeling they're going to buy, then I'm checking in on those daily, right? So like I have a hot list. But well, why I feel distracted in my answer. So what was the question?
Here's another one. Do you, when you say you are going to follow up later, like if you check in Wednesday and then they didn't respond, so you follow up Sunday, do you track that? Like, do you write down who you need to follow up again with later?
Oh yeah. I'm pen and paper. So my tracker is another one of these. I probably have since I started this business, I probably have 9 different notebooks easily that are completely filled, and I never get rid of them because you can always, at the end of December last year, I went through my entire December. My head wanted to explode. I reached out to over 500 people. I mean, it was ridiculous. But anyways, I use these little tabs on the top, and they all say May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So you know how you're talking to people and they're like, I want to do this next month on your next group. So they're going on my May list, right? Or you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I'm pregnant as soon as I have a baby. Well, they're due in August. Well, they're not going to join in August. They're probably not going to join in September. So I'm putting them on October to reach out to them, or the end of September. So I have my monthly, and then I have my ongoing list. So when I say I do my follow-ups, I go through my entire list. Once I've gone through it a couple times, I'm writing notes next to people who have totally ignored me, or have now said to me next month, or this isn't a good time, or whatever. So they're going on the months. Then I'm kind of going through it and restarting another list, maybe every 3 to 4 weeks. I'm clearing it. But that's what I do. And I don't take anybody ever off the list. I just am writing down next to it, no, with a $sign if it's a money objection, or if I know when I'm following up, I'll put them on the actual month. And then when the month is over, last month, I was joking around with my team. I had 65 people for April 1st. I didn't sell 65 challenge packs. In a perfect world, 65 people told me they were buying and they didn't, right? So I was more than half ignored me, okay? And then let's just say a quarter of them said next month, and then a quarter either bought or was still in conversations and deciding, okay? So then what happens at the end of that is I decide who is going to go on to my list that I'm still following up with, and who am I just letting sit stagnant. I'm done. They've ignored me 5 times and I'm just done. I have to let it go. And then eventually, guess what? If it's meant to be, if you're putting out content, they're going to like it or comment it again or watch your stories, and you're going to be right back in there, and they're going right back on your list when they start talking to you again. So at some point you have to let them go, but know that they're watching you. People watch. It's freaky when I go through my memories. People who just bought a month or 2 ago have been liking my shit since 2017. It happens. There's no rhyme or reason. This isn't an easy thing to do. If it was, everybody would do it, right? This is everybody wants that quick fix. Everybody wants that. Give me that pill. Give me that wrap. Give me that. It's just the society we live in. Everybody wants everything yesterday. Nobody wants to put in hard work. So it's really easy to get scared and back out. So that's the kind of thing that I see. And then when they try all these quick fixes, because that's what happens, and they don't get their sustainable results, then all of a sudden it's you're still going. It's still working. All right, I'll try it. Right? That's what happens. So just know that even if it's a no, it's never, unless somebody says fuck off or unfriends you, it's never a permanent no. It's a not right now. And then they'll come back around if they ignore you long enough, and you take them off your list. Does that make sense? Yeah. Anybody else
have any questions? She's the organization lady. You won't be able to ask me these questions, so you better use her.
I think one thing that you said would be good, because I am like Paige, just that is not my strength at all. So,
Well, this
So-
is about the 5th time this week I've heard having a marketing/posting plan is super important. So I'm taking this as my final sign that I need to start doing it.
Seriously. It's very important.
Well, we're just a little over 45 minutes, so want to be conscious of everybody's time. Jackie, thank you so much. This is so valuable for me and valuable for our team because it's something I literally have never spoken about because I don't ever have a plan. So thank you. And now we know who to go to if we need help with organization. Can you drop your, or send me, I don't even think I follow you on Instagram. I for sure see you all the time on Facebook. But can you put your Instagram handle in the messages there? Or there we
There
go.
you go.
Actually, I think I do follow you now that you just put that. That sounds familiar. So thank you so much. And I guess we
welcome.
can.
Can we take a picture?
Oh, duh. Yes.
Like we have to take a picture.
That's right.
Okay. I'm going to take one first.
Okay,
And then-
go for it.
Okay, ready? One. Is everybody going to come out? Do you guys do that? Everybody hides in the.
Now,
Anybody can come out for a picture? We're good? Oh. Okay.
oh, there she is.
It's so nice to see you. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Anybody else? Good.
Smile again, everybody. Gotcha.
You guys have a wonderful night and don't ever hesitate to reach out if you have a question. I love to share, so feel free. And I will send Paige that training